promise. I will get answers today. I might not get all the answers, but I'll get what I need to know from them. I haven't visited them since after everything happened. And I wasn't sure I wanted to visit them again. It's hard to look at someone when you know that they know what happened to your family, to your pack, and they don't share it. Looks like they've stopped using the houses up here.
Oh, yeah, I have been doing better since we last spoke. Been trying to. Oh, no, I haven't learned anything or found any survivors. From my pack, it's still just me. I do have someone interested in joining the pack, though. She's a flower spirit, and I care for her, so I've been at the packlands a lot lately, preparing to make it something that she can call home, too. Oh, yes, the Waystone. I placed it. I built the sun there, and I want to do something for the moon as well, and the war's over, and I know initially Waystones weren't used for protection, but given the times now and me working very far away, it has become more necessary for a Waystone to be present for me to travel back and forth. Oh, yes, I made the decision because I'm the Zara now. It's not like there's anyone else in the pack that's left for them to take up the role. It's just me. Oh, thank you for the congratulations. On that note, I'm the Zara, and it's my job to look out for the safety of my pack and my pack's interest. And when I originally came and talked to you all when I first arrived back home and had to bury my dead, I came to your village, I came to our allies, hoping that you'd give me insight. I was heartbroken and I really didn't know what to do, and I was so terribly upset. And as our ally and as the village on the hill, you have a very clear vantage point of our packlands, and when I came to ask what occurred, despite the clear vantage point, the village had no answer. I left it alone, despite knowing those I talked to had lied. I didn't push the issue because I just lost my pack. That's my family, and I grew up with a lot of you. I consider myself close to a lot of you, even if we haven't seen each other in decades, or a decade. But despite knowing you lied, because I know it's not possible for you not to have heard their screams, the howls they attacked at night, all the howls that would have left my pack's throats as they tried to defend themselves. I know you would have heard the carnage, seen it. I guess best way to say it is I had compassion If you were lying to me, you must have had a good reason, like whoever did it threatened you too. Threatened you to keep your mouth shut, and that's why you couldn't tell me, for risk of your own safety. I was hoping you had a good reason. But what if it wasn't? What if you weren't telling me because you were bribed? Silence. So, what is it? You were threatened and you're too afraid to speak on the matter? Or are you ashamed because you let your longtime allies die and listened to the crying and their screams? Was that bribe enough to keep your mouth shut, despite your allies' blood drenching the sand? Which version would you rather me believe? The terror or the shame? I vowed in my Zara oath that I would seek revenge on those, all of those, who caused my pack harm. So tell me, are you allies of the Noya pack, or are you my enemy? Do not make me do something that I'm going to regret. Because I came here prepared to shed blood. Because as I said, I know you have the answer I'm looking for, and I want that answer. If you're scared that by telling me they're going to come back and take your lives too, then don't be. Because if you don't speak now, I will follow through with my oath and I will shoot you. I see. My suspicion was right then. It was a shriekling. Of course it was a shriekling. When is it not? When is it ever not a shriekling? Terrorizing us. When is it ever not? What? The war ended and they couldn't deal with not tormenting us, so they had to make a final stand and take out even more? Is that really what they had to do? One of my pack, one of them escaped. There was a horse missing. Where did they go? Where did they run to? What direction? That way. And were they followed? One follower. I appreciate your cooperation. I do hope our allyship can continue. Because as I said, I understand being scared. I do. I really do. I don't fault you for not telling me when I came initially out of fear for your own lives. But I do hope that in the future, as allies, there's more trust between us than what you showed me. I don't think there's anything less for us to talk about. Farewell, then. Of course it's the shriekling. It's always the shrinklings. So what if one or two have been nice to me? So what?
and all the rest of them just hunt us down and just kill us for their own entertainment. I need to figure out who and why. Sure, the why is just because they felt like it. It was a whim. They saw a pack being happy and just wanted to stomp on it. But she might still be alive. So if I can at least go and look for clues of where she may have gone, I can recover one of our pack members. I can bring her home. Please be okay. Please. I guess nothing good is gonna come from me being too worked up. I'll go rest for now. I was immediately going to go search that direction. It's been months now, and if she's still running, I don't think I will find her, but I want to look for clues. But the High Lady wishes to speak with me, and if I want to avenge my pack, especially if Shrieklings are responsible, I don't want to slack on my duties to the Nether. So, well, I don't necessarily feel like being all bright and happy, positive Fifi. I'll do what I've always done and did throughout the war, to the point where I didn't know who I was. Just got to slide on that mask. Is it really a mask at this point? I don't know, but I have things I must do, and I don't want to burn a bridge with someone that's stronger than me. I'll continue fulfilling my responsibilities. I got the information that I needed. Well, some of it. So I'll see what needs to be done here, and then I'll continue investigating. I'll figure out what happened. But first, I'll see what this meeting is about. Guess I beat her to my office. I'm here.
Hello, Fiori.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I have been better. Just wanted to give you an update on something that is a proposed idea, something that was just quickly, brought up in conversation, but I wanted to know your opinions on it. I understand we have to have a license for those who have Fire Ruby. And it came to my knowledge that Fire Ruby is only for certain tools such as pickaxe, sword, axe, shovel, etc. However, I was amiss to find out that other weapons such as claymores, long swords, things of that nature do not have a Fire Ruby counterpart. However, they are still quite rare when it comes to equipment. And it's been a thought to potentially have any ruby tool or armor be treated as fire ruby when it comes to the Master of Coin.
Okay, if you do something like that, you'd likely, because there's also, you have collection laws for what people can collect and like the traveler tribute tax, and Ruby is currently under that, so they would have to rewrite those as well, take those samples out. If it were to change, what about the people who already have Ruby items?
We would ask for them to agree to license them out. The Netherians, of course, would be fine from this, but those from other realms that have ruby items, I would at least like to know where they are, especially in our climate now. It'd be very nice to know where our ores are going.
I can probably track down a couple pieces. But all that I could necessarily track down are gonna be ones done through trade. Ruby that's gone through trade, or people who have collected ruby and had to pay a tax on it. I don't have a way of figuring out if someone else had given someone else like just normal ruby though.
I plan to probably, if this does pass, it's still just a theory, give both the High Vessel and the Emperor copies to send out to their citizens, perhaps put it on their notice boards. And we just hope that people will be good Samaritans and license them.
Okay, I guess that makes sense, especially if they are stronger weapons.
And with the threat of the goblins, I just don't want... I'd like to know who has certain weapons so we can trace back, potentially be able to trace back maybe a purchaser. If maybe, say, someone who was invisible ran and had a ruby claymore, and then we could look back in our records and see exactly who has such a weapon.
Yeah, I'm aware of maybe like 2 ruby staffs that are floating about. And then
I believe Ophelia has one.
Ophelia and Lucette. And then someone within the overworld court, I believe, has a ruby weapon of some kind.
Ruby Great Hammer, and that would be Zeroth.
He has a fire, I think a fire, no, it's the normal ruby one, that's not who I'm referring to though.
Oh.
You had gifted Ruby at a coronation, I think. Because whenever
goodness, you have a better memory than I do. I don't even remember that.
When my meeting with Zaroth actually about it, about his, Ollie had been there and he had asked me about the ruby that Lenora had been gifted and what he could craft it into weaponize, and so I had just told him anything not fire ruby.
See.
So I know he has that, but past those, everything else is going to be relying on people reaching out through the board then, I believe.
Well, we can only hope that that happens. I just know if the end is going to be rewriting their laws to make Eternium harder for foreigners, I don't wish to retaliate. It just made me realize that perhaps we need to be more, and I don't like to use this word, but selfish in a way. It's, though we have a greater amount than the end does of Eternium, the weapons can still break, and we'll need extras to craft certain weapons, and if we give ours away without there being a stockhold or a surplus, I worry that we may end up in the same predicament that the end is in, and I don't wish for that to happen.
That's understandable, and I agree with the line of thought after I did mention us stopping trading totems to other kingdoms.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay, well, I just wanted to make you aware of that. Nothing is set in stone. But thank you for lending me your ear.
mhm.
If you need anything, please let me know. I'm not sure what you're up to today, but if there's anything that I can assist you in, all you need to do is ask.
No, I've just been at my packlands talking to the village next door.
Oh. Oh, I think I saw it in the oh goodness. What the distance.
Mhm,
The desert one?
Yes, they're perched up on a hill, nearby, so they've long time had been our allies and trading partners.
Oh, well, I hope all of that goes swimmingly.
It's been going favorably so far.
Good, I'm glad. Hopefully your time as Master of Coin has made you very, sorry, my brain isn't here today. Makes you very persuade. I don't know the plural for persuade.
Persuasive. That one?
Persuasive, that's the word.
I cannot spell that word.
You know, I might not be able to either.
Well, at least we, figured out what the word was.
Yes, I appreciate your help in that. I have a few more paperworks to attend to, so let me know if you need anything. And I will see you soon.
Yes, have a good, rest of your day.
Yes, you as well.
Well, I don't think I acted like I just threatened a village, and I didn't lie. I did go and talk to the village next to my packlands. I told the truth. Something I learned is that if you want someone to trust and believe in you, it's better to have truth mixed in with your words. Something makes it more believable than it being full lies. I hope my pauses weren't too noticeable. I don't think there's a need for me to raise concern, but she was worried regarding Elio doing the self-experimentation with the withering and wanted to stop him because it was dangerous, and I don't want her to try to stop me from learning about what happened to my pack, to avenging my pack by her prematurely learning what it is I'm trying to do. Yes. I hope my act was believable. After all, I've been practicing it since I was in war, so the happy, preppy, Fifi. I will just have to alter how I behave when the time comes to. Now, time to go in that direction that the villagers pointed out. I could never follow the wolf hooves tracks because it was too old. And so I've been doing broad searches over the desert, but now that I know what direction they went, now that I know she was on horseback,
and he was chasing after her. Maybe that will help me figure out where she went. I will avenge all of you. And to start with, gotta figure out who that shriekling was that chased you down. And that will be my starting point. I won't let you all down. Let's stay already, huh? Oh. There's no time like the present. I can't sit around dawdling like I have been. I'm going to find my way to answers. They said it was to the south, so I don't imagine it wouldn't be in vision of the village, or else they would have, I hope they would have said something. And there's caves all throughout the mesa. I can try seeing if they know anything. Even if they don't, they're too close to the packlands for me to let them stay, so. I've slain your flag bearer. It's a raid. It's so difficult just to tell me anything about what you saw. They're rather defensive, so I feel like they're at least hiding something. Yeah. That looks empty. Is anything here? No. It's not here. What about this one? I see at least part of a skeleton. Please don't be her. They didn't talk to me at all, but if she fled horse this way, she could have been captured by the pillagers if she's by herself. And maybe the shriekling went past. I don't know. It's not her. It's not her. She wouldn't be. She was always smaller. These wouldn't be hers. It can't be hers. Guess it's like a jail cell of sorts. Someone they trapped down here, but let's see, a journal. It's in really rough shape. Seems like it's been through quite a lot. Entry. The High Vessel has expressed concern that our front lines are lacking. I suppose there's only so much we can expect of the wolfkin. I'm not sure why an origin so weak is seen as a threat by the High Vessel. but it is not my place to doubt her judgment. I'll just follow my orders, and hopefully I can be given a leave soon to visit home. So this is a Shrieklin. But if he's here, that means she may have gotten away. I'm not sure how he got trapped here, but if it means he got trapped here and she could flee, then that's good. The last report I received from the High Vessel mentioned a desire to move up the plans to ensure a certain group of wolves cannot regain their footing. From our records, a good chunk of the guild and that pack have already been among the casualties in the draft. But who am I to decline a good hunt? I'll finish up here and ask for some more wolves to be transferred, specifically to targets. What plans? What plans? A group of wolves, it's... The closest pack to here is Noya. We're super close to here, but I know there's more in the area. And they were... Or been among the casualties. They were tracking how many of us... They were tracking the casualties, and yet... We're still just sending us off to die without... Word has finally reached the front lines. The war is over. I didn't complete my duty fast enough, but I will not let it remain incomplete. Only a few targets remain, and luckily for me, they should be returning to their packlands. So, this is written after the war ends. And the packlands he spies mine. Are we the certain group of wolves? What do you mean regain our footing? What did we do? Word has reached the front lines. The war is over. They didn't complete their duty, so they failed to ensure that we can't regroup, gain our footing. And success is us being casualties. Returning to their packlands, I'll greet them soon. The damned wood wolves put up a greater fight than expected. I brought multiple Shrieklings with me, but I suppose training them for war to protect the kingdom carried its own dangers. They somehow managed to take down the rest of my squad. Despite being injured, one small girl escaped. From her movement, she definitely is battle-trained, even if not refined. I can't risk her exposing Shrieklings being behind the pack, being wiped out. A wolf seeking righteous revenge. I gave that girl an excellent reason to try, so I just need her life. So this is who hurt my back. He carried out the orders, and how am I gonna get revenge if he's already gone? I hope your death wasn't easy. I hope you didn't get a peaceful death down here. I hope you suffered. I finally managed. Oh, no. I finally managed to catch up to her. The horse she took was injured, so she couldn't get too far before trying to mend its wounds. Now that she's handled, I need to focus on my own injuries. The desert sun is making me feel weak, so I plan to rest in a cave I passed. Once I'm feeling better, I can begin the trip home. So, they managed to take down a squad. They managed to injure him. managed to find her. I already expected that I was the last one loved. I knew it was a far-fetched hope that someone might still be alive. But there was no hope. Why? What plans? What plans? The High Vessel's plans? What do you mean? Luca, they were closing in. What are the front lines doing? Are the mutts? The mutts! So weak that they can't stop some pesky weaklings. How dare they let the Cubs pass the outpost to enter territories, and how dare you allow it to happen? Well, maybe if you weren't just lining us up to be killed, putting us in places known to fall, maybe we could have done something. Maybe we could have succeeded in something. You've been loyal to me for a long time. Everything is crumbling, and I feel like I can hardly think straight. All thanks to these damn goblins invading my kingdom and these mutts having no respect. Maybe if they just obeyed like the animals they are. Given the dire climate of this war, I can't risk the former Avengers regrouping, nor their allied packs uniting. We managed to take care of most of them with the draft, but should any still remain, eliminate them. I have enough to worry about already. They got to live 20 years longer than I wanted them to. They should be thanking me for their extended survival. Do not let the guild or Noyan dogs survive this war. What did we do? Why? We just wanted to live. He said he was too slow to carry out his plan, so he was supposed to have us all slaughtered before the war ended, and since that didn't work, we got false hope. We got false hope that the war was over and that we could go back to how things were, and he still came. They still came to take care of us. We had no chance. We never had a chance. Dad went willingly with the draft because he wanted to save us from the shrinkling torment. What was the point of it? We got tormented during the war anyway. They never intended to let us live from the very beginning. Why? What was the point of us fighting? If they were just going to kill us anyways, we should have refused. We should have made a stand. We should have done something. What was the point of having hope that it was going to get better if this was the plan all along? We fought and we died for nothing, protecting nothing. We wanted to protect the bag, but why is it just me? We died for people who didn't care about us. Sacrificing, taking risk in hope that it would be for the good of the pack. This isn't what we wanted. If they're gonna kill all of us, why is it just me? If he carried out his plans, that means he took out the guild, right? Means he would have gotten to River and any of the other adventurers. He took out Noya. He just missed me. So, he had status? He was the leader of the squad and was knowingly moving certain wolfkins to their depths. I doubt it was just restricted to my pack and the former guild. I saw other wolfkins. There were so many wolfkins, and I saw them get moved in places that would be death sentences, all because they talked back or they didn't perform well enough. It wasn't just my pack, but why are we targeted in this book? Why are we targeted after everything? If he had orders to take us out, well, all Shrieklings had orders where they organized to target certain packs, and it's just ours. Or is that just how Shrieklings are? Maybe this person had orders, but they're all the same. They enjoy the suffering of others. They enjoy the sacrifice of others. They want the entertainment. We're just here to die for them. They're all just monsters. They're monsters. They're monsters. They're monsters. Maybe there just are no good Shrieklings. That's what I always thought. It's only more recent that my opinion had begun to change. Arlo, sure, he never harmed me, but I only knew him after the war ended. He could have been just like all the others. One inconvenience, and next thing you know, that Wolfkin's a corpse. Odds are he was just like all the other soldiers, following orders and doing things on their whims. The High Vessel, sure, she's been nice. She's been understanding with me. But I showed her the packland. She knows everyone was killed, but she didn't mention it to me. She took the throne from her mother. She was her heir, and she didn't think that this is something I should know. How would she not know this? She said she let us live 20 years longer than she planned, that we're gonna be wiped out throughout the war, but there has to be some document of it. How is it that during her mother's reign she didn't know, or even after the reign, getting access to documents that she didn't know? She know when she kept it from me, right? She chose not to tell me. Not to tell me who did this to my pack. After all, she kept Pyra on her court when she ascended the throne. Didn't she say during the coronation that Pyra was the former knight captain? So she would have been knight captain during the High Vessel Darcy's reign. As a knight and as a supporter of Darcy, I'm sure she slaughtered so many wolfkins herself, and I'm sure she enjoyed it. Because what else can I expect from a Shriekling? The main time I spoke with her, her opinion of the wolfkin showed very clear, and yet Lenora kept her close. Put her on the court anyways. They're all the same. They're all the same. If they're not killing us with their own hand, then they're at least complacent. But what am I meant to do? How do I get my revenge? How do I avenge you all? How? What am I meant to do? What am I meant to do? How am I meant to believe differently? How am I supposed to do right by my pack? I'm supposed to avenge them. Going into this, I can't just barge up to her. Oh, Shrieklings are monsters. How do I get rid of them? But I'm assuming that Lenora knew what happened to my pack and chose to keep it from me. After all, if it's something that could never come to light, why would you want it to come to light? Something that any Shriekling would want to keep hidden. Maybe I just try to get a confession from her. If I go in assuming, accusing, I don't think that's going to go anywhere. I don't think that's going to help me. But I learned recently that my assumptions have been wrong. I assumed Atticus was trying to get a one-up on me with not being able to, with making me read his guild quest. But he just couldn't read, so maybe I'm assuming things wrongly here too. Maybe Lenora has been genuine. Maybe she hasn't been lying to me. Maybe she didn't know. Ollie's close with her. She made 2 wolfkins, her heirs. So I think she is trying to do right. I think she is trying to fix things in her own way, but during the Blood on the Throne, she appreciated that I reached out and talked to her and asked questions. Maybe I have to do that again. Even if I'm so incredibly angry. And if she knew, if they knew and they kept it and they were complacent with it, then maybe my revenge is doing the same. They wiped out my pack. They wiped out the guild. So what if I tried to take them out too? Maybe that's the course of action. Maybe that's my course of revenge that I need to take. Maybe that's what I have to do right by the pack. Even if it cost me my life. They're monsters. They're monsters, they're monsters, they're monsters, they're monsters. I can do it, I can do it. First, I need to go home and mark her grave. so she can be laid to rest with the rest of her family too. What else am I supposed to do? What am I meant to do?